Good morning. It has been a wild week, not just for Young Thug and his trial, but for me personally. I've been incredibly busy. I hate saying that, but I had a seminar on Tuesday and Wednesday, which was about property taxes, which is a service I offer, protesting the values. So I go to this seminar, and that was in a town called College Station. And I'm just gonna say I'm glad that my son is a Longhorn. Okay. Then I got back Thursday morning. I had to go to the lcadilac to do property tax protests for Collin County. And then this morning I was in court again on another case with another client. So I have been a busy bee. Obviously, I could not live stream my coverage on Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday I was really just also not able to live stream. So I am now here to give you an update. It's okay. As per usual, I am not pro-government, okay? I'm anti-government. I do not like our government. I don't think they do a good job. I think we've given the government too much power. I think we need to take that away from them. I understand in theory that we need a government system so we can have roads and stuff like that, certainly, but I don't like it in application. I get it. So again, if you want like the pro zippity-doo-dah, I love government station, move along. You are never going to get that here. You're never going to get Lauren going, go government, go. And in fact, I would say maybe if I were in China, I'd probably be dead by now, because that's how not pro-government I am. And I'm pretty loud about it. And that's my right, thankfully, as an American, to be loud about my distaste with the government and its function. So, that being said, if I were a taxpayer in Georgia right now, I would be lit. First, if I was one of these jurors, the other day the judge told them to get there at 9:30. I was presuming they got there at 9:30 as per what the judge told them. They didn't start till 11:30. The day before that, they had gotten there at 9 and didn't start till 11. I mean, if I were a juror, I would be so irritated. So remember, the judge had told them in the beginning they wouldn't be working on Fridays, but yesterday they only took one witness for the whole day, which the judge had forewarned them that it would be a one witness day on Thursday. And then the judge was like, y'all can come in on Friday, that's today, at 12:30 and we'll go until 3:30. Listen, if I'm a juror, I am so pissed. Like, how? No. You said we would have Fridays off. Anyhow, there's been so much messiness with the jurors. We'll get into that. The witnesses have been, I don't understand what even their purpose is, really. One witness testified that he arrested a guy like years and years ago for a 1/2 gram of crack. 1/2 gram of crack. I don't know how much that means. I don't know anything about crack, but I know grams are not very much quantity-wise. A gram is not a whole lot. 1/2 gram is half of not a whole lot. Help me understand what 1/2 gram of crack does in furtherance of a gang. Another witness they had found someone with 17 grams of weed, of marijuana, and $32. That's like a Tuesday for almost any pothead in America. Like, 17 grams, that's personal use. $32, I have $32 on my wallet. I probably have a little more than that right now. How does $32 help the gang? What is $32 gonna do for a multimillionaire? You're talking about a record label that is making money off of rappers who are making money off of making music. And they're concerned about a gram of marijuana? And $32? I'm just glad I don't live in Atlanta, Georgia. If I was a Fulton County, Georgia taxpayer, I would be lit. I would be lit. So a while back I found this YouTuber, his name is Cameron something, and his channel is called Cuff Boys. Don't judge, I don't know what it's about. I Googled it and said he would like play music for his mom or something. And that's how he became like a famous YouTuber. I don't know anything. But he's been doing recaps of trials, and he does a really good job. Even though he's not a lawyer and he gets some things wrong, he actually does a really great job, and he's really good at like editing videos, which, as you all know if you've been watching me on these lives, I'm terrible. I might not even be speaking into the mic right now. You might not even be able to hear me. So anyhow, I watch his little recaps, and I'm going to play and watch with you yesterday's. So this is like copyright on copyright. Like, so thank you, Cuff Boys. Thank you, Cam, who's watching Law and Crime. So thank you, Law and Crime. All right, here we go, guys.
Trial was a circus. We got 2 officers who took the stand.
Okay, a circus is like an understatement. So he's recapping day 7. There were other days, and none of the days made any sense. On the first Monday, there was 1 witness that went the whole day. Unbelievable. I mean, the waste. And then I swear to you, the judge, like, every time a witness is done, he turns to the jury and is like, do we need a break? I swear, like, the judge just wants to be on break. All right, let's see what Cam says.
Stand regarding a case with Thug's brother, Quantavious Greer, where he was caught with a stolen...
Oh, that's another thing, y'all. So far, all of the arrests that they've talked about, besides Shannon Stillwell and maybe 1 or 2 other people who are in the courtroom, have been Young Thug's family. And by the standard, by the legal standard of these RICO, like, a big family could be a gang. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is just like a family that gets in a lot of trouble. Like, I don't... Okay, so this is Quantavious Greer. There's a cop talking about arresting Quantavious, who had allegedly a stolen firearm.
Firearm. One of the officers even says he saw Greer in the courtroom today, but he's not on the case anymore, so he was mistaken. Then,
so the cop like pointed and was like, yeah, he's in a suit over there. I see him. He's sitting right up. Oh, and goes on, and then he's like, oh, is that not him? Quantavious Greer is in jail right now for a totally different crime, which I don't even think is part of the RICO charges, I believe. But he is most certainly not in the courtroom. And, I mean, it's crazy. He also, apparently, the story behind why Quantavious Greer had the gun is that some drunk guy had the gun, and Quantavious Greer took it from him. And so even though the cop knew that the drunk guy had the gun, he didn't arrest the drunk guy for the gun. He only arrested Greer. And of course, none of the cops' write-ups or statements had anything to do with gangs. They didn't talk about gangs at all, because that gang thing is very new here.
towards the end of the day, a juror alerts the court of an Instagram post she saw where someone might have exposed the jury on Instagram. This is not regarding the live stream situation like a week ago. This is a completely different Instagram post that this lady saw, basically exposing that she was on Instagram in October when she wasn't supposed to be. This is a disaster.
Okay. It's a disaster. This whole trial is ridiculous. We'll get into that jury here in a second. Here's the Quantavious Greer. So he's an associate of YSL, and in this picture right here, he has this YSL chain on. Of course, because his brother is a famous rapper. Hello.
He's about Thug's brother. Shout out Thugger Daily for all these tweets he's so fire. I would imagine this cop finds him with a stolen gun on him at a gas station.
Ooh, okay, so like every single lawyer objects to this one because like he comes in, just leads off, it's a known drug area. That wasn't even the question, and that is a bias. So we get some objections.
I couldn't hear the objection because all he is terrible, but they were not happy about him saying it's a known drug area.
Classification where there's a lot of gang activity going on with some drugs in that area. They seem like they out there to sell some of their house.
They keep objecting to him bringing up that it's a drug-infested area or whatever in crimes. Judge seems to overrule everything each time, too.
He observed the open mail of a firearm.
I mean, the judge objecting or sustaining, that doesn't really mean anything to me as an attorney. I mean, that's like the judge's job, right? So, you know, judges are paid by the government. They are the government. So, you know, they want to be third party and unbiased. But the fact of the matter is, when your paycheck's being signed by the same person, like, y'all are on the same team. So this judge is on the same team as the prosecution. All right, so here we go. This guy, I think this is a senior, and this is his son right here, junior, I think, because I heard the judge say hi to senior and junior, and they kind of resemble each other, and that just makes me happy. Like, as a lawyer mom, I would love to be in the courtroom with my child. It'd be so fun. Okay.
Okay. And you detained him because he had a gun in his hand, and as a result of that, he complied, right? Yes, sir. He didn't run away from you. No, sir. He didn't give you a false name. No, sir. He didn't give you a false date of birth. No, sir. You said lay down on the ground, you laid down. Yes, sir. Anything here in this courtroom that you recall? No, sir. Okay. And you know I represent Mr. Williams, fair to say? Sir. You know I represent Mr. Jeffrey Williams, right? Okay. And he wasn't at the scene, was he? No, sir. When you mentioned and you described the area, including every area in that area, how long have you been familiar with this area? Since 2005. Tragically, the area is poverty stricken. Okay. I'm not going to answer that. I'll hold the objection. I'm not going to answer that. That's just you don't make it anymore. Okay, well, how would you describe the income level in that area? Foundation, Mr. Steele, you want to answer that? Do you have a belief on the level of income in that area?
Okay. First of all, as a witness, you don't get to not answer a question. So I don't care if you think it's disrespectful. You're going to answer my question. I don't get that. I have had judges, you know, if someone's not answering my question, turn and yell at the witness. Not yell, but you will answer the question. You are a witness. You don't get to say, I'm not answering that as disrespectful. That's our tax dollars, by the way. This is a police officer. This police officer is being paid, by the way.
Disrespectful to that area.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're in a courtroom. I don't think you're being asked by a lawyer if there's a lot of people that don't have money in the area, which is probably true. Let's be
Nobody
honest here.
cares.
Do you believe that that area has a lot of crime? Yes, sir. And is that
Okay.
now the jurors would be to the left on Mr. Williams on one or to the right?
Okay, so this McDonald's in that area actually went out of business. So they're talking about how this McDonald's went out of business. I've never seen, like, that's a newer McDonald's too.
And does that area also have video surveillance? Not sure, sir. Okay, that's okay. But laundromat, does that have video surveillance? I'm not sure. Okay.
So he arrested Doug's brother in the McDonald's parking lot right here. Doug's lawyers just point out that he didn't get surveillance video from the surrounding.
So far,
Okay.
this guy has been my favorite. This guy and this guy, this is definitely senior and junior. There's no doubt about the paternity here. No doubt at all. Look at that. Unbelievable. Okay, so the guy who's cross-examining now, he has been awesome. He's awesome. I love his cross-examinations. The dude can cross. Let's see.
You know, we were speaking to the officer who said that the driver is the one who came and gave the gun to the drunk guy. Drunk guy waves around, and then the back passenger, this is rear, got out of the car and took the gun from the drunk guy. You know that what you were told?
I'm not sure.
He's making Thug's brother actually look like he did something good, which he might have. I mean,
He did. He took a gun from a drunk guy.
Well, I don't know the context to who the drunk dude is.
That the drunk guy was waving the gun around before Ponte just took it from him, right?
Yeah, somebody was waving it around.
Well, so he was in possession of a stolen gun when he was waving that stolen gun around, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was he charged?
No. I don't know who he is.
I'm gonna check your eyes and see your position here.
Yeah, why wasn't that other guy charged with something?
3 people would touching or being in possession of that stolen gun, I'll take it to the only person arrested, right?
Long falls?
Repeat that question?
All right.
I hate it when a witness behaves this way. You are not helping the prosecution. Just answer the question. Your delay, you know, it sounds like you're a liar. like you know what the answer is and you don't want to answer it, and that's not a good look. Like that does not come across as like a, oh, this is a great witness who, you know, we want to hear from. It's not a trustworthy witness, right? And if I'm a juror and I see him hesitating to answer, and I'm not going to answer that, and I'm thinking maybe he knows something. Maybe there's like a weakness in this case that we haven't necessarily seen yet, or whatever it is. It's not a good look.
3 people in possession of the gun. Driver who gave to the drunk guy.
Okay.
This is on some
So then they go on a 10-minute break, and it ends up taking hours, just like last week, because during the 10-minute break, a juror had gone up to a bailiff or sheriff and said, hey, I have a concern that I am on an Instagram post. I was scrolling through Instagram in October, and I saw a post. Okay, so then the bailiff opened his phone and went to, you know, his Instagram, and then the juror was trying to find where the post was, presumably had hit the search, whatever, and while she was scrolling for the post, she saw a video that had to do with the case. Now, the video was muted. She tells all of this to the judge. Then, turns out in the post you can't actually see the juror. This was the post. You cannot see the juror at all. This is back in October, before all of us were watching so intently, because really the jury hadn't been seated yet. And it's a non-issue, but she did scroll through the bailiff's phone and see a video, but not hear anything, just saw images. So she wanted to make sure to let the judge know. So then, one by one, and asked them if this juror shared anything, and they all say no, and then that's the conclusion of that. But it took another like 2 hours, and the bailiff should have, I don't know why the bailiff was showing her his Instagram. It doesn't even make sense when the judge has specifically told them not to use social media. For the bailiff to open it up and hand her social media is, I don't get it.
He was in the courtroom, this guy right here. Here's a screenshot of an October 16th, 2023 video from William McCrae's IG account from the media room in the courthouse. So he's in the media room, like in a different room, just like took in a picture of the TV. This video does not show the jurors. It sounds like the juror saw herself on a courtroom camera today, not me.
Okay, so here, judge calls juror 409.
Juror 409 this one time, okay?
Miss Love is here finally. I don't know what she's been doing.
Miss Love had been gone.
Just a couple of questions.
Miss Love was gone all week, and then she finally showed up. It was really bizarre, but I guess she's not talking right now. And I heard that happens kind of more in these criminal trials, which, you know, y'all, I do civil. So when I'm in a courtroom, we're litigating. We're not putting people in jail. Gosh, this guy's little ponytail. But anyhow, so Miss Love may have been working on other cases or whatever, but she came back this week. We saw her, but she didn't speak.
Within the last, I would say, 30 minutes, you shared a video on your phone with Sergeant Ingram, is that right? Correct. Okay. And that particular video was of a person that is raised in William McCrae? Yes, sir. Okay. How did you come to look at this particular video?
When we were dismissed this last time, I saw myself on the camera above us here. And so I asked Sergeant Ingram, where else could we be seen on this camera, on this?
If you've ever seen text behind something just like this,
okay.
it's actually not hard.
So she thought she saw herself on camera and was like asking, hey, have we been on camera? See, it's my understanding that the jury doesn't know that their photos, the 3 people's photos have been released. And so I think she's just asking if she'd be on camera.
I remember October of this year seeing something scroll through on social media. This is before we would hit the stores. And I remembered, because I personally, I don't know personally, but because I know of the history of this individual, Mr. McCrae, I was concerned that information had been put out that might interfere with the trial. And so I brought it to his attention, Sergeant Ingram, and so we were seeing that. So with the camera view, I wanted to know if the jurors could be seen in the hearing room. At that time, he asked me to get a screenshot.
I guess this McCrae person has like listed maybe he's given out information before, I don't know. So she was concerned, based off what she knows of this McRae guy, that this was going public.
And when I saw back in October, so I scrolled through his page and found the screenshot, but in the process of finding the screenshot, I saw the video. Now, the way social media works now, you can see...
Okay, so then she was trying to show the officer the screenshot that she saw in October, and she saw a video as she's scrolling through the officer's phone.
Yeah, but if you don't touch it, you don't hear it. And so I continued to scroll, but I mentioned to him that there's a video, and it looks like he was live in the courtroom.
Was this earlier, like in October, or was it when did this video or live incident filmed by Mr. McRae occur?
It looks like it occurred when he was here this week. I saw him yesterday, and I brought it to Sergeant Ingram's attention.
Okay, so your concern was that you might have seen yourself on a live feed.
Yes.
Okay.
This trial's a circus. Holy fuck, dude, they're gonna have a goddamn field day with appeals.
Pardon this child's language, but he's not wrong. I mean, it's out of control. So far, we've had these 3 jurors exposed. Now we have this juror admitting she's looking through social media. We have all these police officers that are giving terrible evidence. One of the police officers says he sees someone in the courtroom that isn't in the courtroom. It is a mess. It's a mess.
So he gets convicted. If they get found guilty, appeals are gonna go crazy, dude. This is insane, bro. This juror wants out. She doesn't want to go to the trial anymore. She's scared that she was on a live feed.
I'm concerned that any of us could have been on a live feed.
Did you show this video to any other of the fellow jurors?
No.
Did you tell them anything?
No, yes.
Okay, now here the judges inquire from other jurors.
No.
Okay, thank you. Did you overhear her talk anything about the media?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all you answered, okay? I would ask that, if you came off of the media apps or social media, you won't have that issue to deal with. There won't be anything that pops up on your feed or anything that may cause you to come in contact with anybody or any third party that is.
The state of Georgia should be embarrassed. I mean, it's and the kind of evidence they're presenting, I swear there are 8th grade gangs that are more gang-like than this. I mean, it's unbelievable. We have been at it for 8 days, and we have seen and heard nothing from the state that actually. Now, I know they have to build, and they're but if I were a taxpayer in the state of Georgia, in the county of Fulton, I would be very displeased right now. This would cause a great deal of displeasure for me. What a waste of money. I mean, it's unbelievable. I really... From the prosecution's evidence so far, I get the feeling that there is, in fact, a group of friends, which maybe you could call a gang, like a gang of people or a gaggle, I don't know. And each of those friends is a law-breaking citizen, individually, but I don't see anything that they're like, what is $32 going to do for a gang? Like, what is 17 grams? When I think of like gangs and drugs, I'm thinking pounds. I'm thinking thousands of dollars. When I'm concerned as a citizen, a taxpaying citizen, and I'm thinking about the kind of thing that I want prosecuted, that I want my money to be spent on prosecuting, it's not $17. I mean, it's not 17 grams. It's not $32. It's thousands. It's cartels. It's, people being murdered. It's high level gang. Not this. I mean, this is like the lowest of low level, y'all. Half the gang is Jeffrey Williams' family. I mean, like, they should put his mom in jail for having that many kids, because she created a gang right there. I swear. It's just so far-fetched. It's been an interesting ride so far. So today they're supposed to come on at 12:30 Eastern, which would be 11:30 Central. Of course, I'm going to watch in the background today, and I will just come live stream recaps when I can. I'm sure watching me work while we listen is actually quite boring, so I'm not going to force you all to sit through that ever again. But I'll just come back to you and give you some recaps as we go through, and you get my lovely opinion and maybe some jokes here and there. So I appreciate everyone who joined me today. Make sure you hit thumbs up and subscribe.